Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Model Kit Review. In today's fun model kit comparison video, we'll be looking at three great 1/48 scale Bf109 model kits. The kits featured in this video will be the Tamiya Bf109E, that's part number 61063. We'll also look at the Airfix Bf109E, that is Airfix number A05120. And finally, we'll be looking at the Eduard Bf109E, and that is kit number 84164. I have previously done a full review on each of the kits featured in this video, so if you want a more in-depth look at any one of these model kits, you can click the link that I'll provide as we go through them. Currently, in the US, these three model kits can be had for right around the same amount of money. In this comparison, we'll talk about the plastic parts that come in the kit, we'll look at the clear parts, we'll look at the detailed parts, we'll talk about the instructions, we'll talk about the pluses and minuses of each kit, and we'll talk about the decals as well as we go through this comparison. The first kit in this comparison is Tamiya's iconic Messerschmitt Bf109E-4 through 7 Tropical. This is kit number 61063. This model kit was initially released in 1998. It immediately won high praise for its ease of construction and its clever engineering. This kit features crisp panel lines and a moderate level of surface detailing. Aftermarket items that I used on this build were a True Details resin seat with the seat belts that are molded into the seat. I also used some True Details resin wheels. These wheels proved to be very helpful, allowing me to paint the white sidewall detail on the tires with their clear demarcation lines. I used the kit supplied decals on this build, and they turned out very nicely, although they are a bit on the thick side and they required lots of setting solution. And then once the decals were almost completely dry, I went back and using a sharp razor blade, I sliced the decals where they went over panel lines in order to help them settle into the panel lines. The mottled desert camouflage scheme on this aircraft was a bit of a challenge. To achieve that effect, I used pastels to apply the dark green mottles. High points on this kit were its ease of construction, its very thin clear parts, and instructions that were very clear in the assembly sequence. On the downside, I really don't like the color callouts in the instructions, since they only reference the Tamiya paint colors, and oftentimes they have you mixing paints to get the proper shade. Finally, I've heard that the Airfix kit is a little bit more accurate in the overall shape fidelity to the original. Next up, we have the Airfix Bf109E. This is Airfix kit number A05120. This kit was originally released in 2010. It was praised for its shape accuracy. Like the Tamiya 109E, this kit builds very easily and very quickly. It's not a parts-heavy kit. The instructions are very clear. They have very nice color callouts as well. One thing to note on the interior is that the pilot seat comes with some molded-in seat belts. Unfortunately, the moldings here are very basic, so to really dress up the kit, you would probably want to add an aftermarket seat here as well. There are several aspects of this kit that are clearly behind the other two Bf109E kits in this comparison. The first aspect is in the clear parts. These parts are thicker, they have heavier framing on them, and they just don't have the clarity or the scale appearance compared to the Tamiya kit or the Eduard kit. The next area where this Airfix kit kind of brings up the back of the pack is in the surface detailing on the exterior of the kit. The exterior surface detail is much heavier handed on the Airfix kit. Finally, the detail on the smaller parts, and that includes the landing gear legs and the interior parts, is a little bit clunky and not quite as crisp or refined as that on the Tamiya kit or on the Eduard kit. For the decals on the Airfix Bf109E, I used a combination of the kit decals and decals from an Eduard Profi Pack Bf109E. I had no issues with the kit decals that I did use. In summary, the Airfix Bf109E is an easy building kit. It has excellent instructions. It has the best overall shape accuracy of these three kits. It has posable tail surfaces, which are nice, and it's only really let down by its soft detail on the smaller parts, the thick, heavily framed clear parts, and its somewhat heavy-handed surface detailing on the exterior of the kit. The final kit in this comparison is the Eduard Bf109E-1. This is Eduard part number 84164. This kit was initially released in 2012. This one differs from the other kits in this comparison in that it has the most comprehensive interior. It also has a very comprehensive engine bay if you wanted to pose the engine bay opened up. The Eduard Bf109E was also praised for its very fine surface detailing. It has extensive riveting on it, but it is very petite and very crisp and very well done. In terms of construction, the Eduard Bf109E is much more complex than either of the other two kits. It has far more small parts. This kit is really geared towards much more experienced model builders. While this build has the option of building the engine bay open, it is a real challenge to get the nose of the aircraft closed up if you don't want to display the kit-supplied engine. The instructions and color callouts on this kit were very nice. The detail that's found on the smaller parts in this kit, including the landing gear and the interior of the aircraft, are the best in this comparison. The clear parts on the kit are of excellent quality. Since this is a weekend edition kit, it has very limited decals. It has no stencils in it, so I was forced to use aftermarket stencils on this build in combination with decals from an Eduard Profipack Bf109. In summary, the Eduard Bf109E has the best external surface detail of these kits. It also has the best detail on the smaller parts, as well as the best clear parts. It also has the additional option to build the engine compartment open with the DB601 on display. However, all this detail comes at a cost, and this Eduard kit was by far the most difficult kit in terms of construction. Getting the nose area closed up cleanly was a real challenge, and it seems like Eduard could have done a better job engineering this kit for ease of construction. And finally, on the yellow box version of the weekend edition kits, the decals are not comprehensive enough to do a complete build, so you need to purchase aftermarket stencils for the kit. All right, time to choose a winner. Well, the truth of the matter is that all of these kits look good on the shelf, and you have to get pretty close to see the differences in surface detail and the clear parts between the kits. While the Airfix kit may have the best overall shape accuracy, I think it's let down by its detail parts and by its clear parts and by its surface detailing in comparison with the Tamiya kit or the Eduard kit. While I love the surface detail on the Eduard Bf109E and the option to pose the engine bay open, I think this kit is going to be really frustrating for most modelers. Even though I have many years of experience building model kits, this one was a challenge for me to turn out nicely. And that leaves us with the Tamiya kit. It's the oldest kit in this comparison, but I think for the majority of modelers, it is still going to be the best pick. Construction-wise, it's the easiest kit in this comparison. I was able to use the kit decals to good effect. It has excellent clear parts, and the surface detailing and the detailing on the small parts is clearly superior to the Airfix kit. Overall, I'd give this kit 2 thumbs up. This kit built up very quickly. I was able to use the kit decals to good effect, and it makes a very nice looking Bf109E on the shelf. Well, I'd love to know what you guys think. If any of you out there are Bf109E fans, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, model on.